Hi there. So today was session 51, camp session 51. Honestly, it was magnificent. It was so beautiful. There was so much wow. So this is a facilitator that I haven't gone to in a while. This is a facilitator with who I started. It was last year in November, and then I haven't seen her in some time now. Like some months ago, I went to a session with her, and when she was co-facilitating with somebody else. But this was just purely her session. Now, I also went with my friend to her session. Now, she was doing this in my hometown, so the town that I'm living in. So I thought I was gonna go with somebody else, but I went by myself. It's really beautiful. It was really like a lot of people, but it was a very big open space. It's a nice setting. It's also nice to see the facilitator, because last year and how she is now, like there's like this awareness. Oh, and then she was talking like this or behaving like this, and now it's like this and like that. It's very peculiar to like notice that, like, okay, look at the subtle things. So once this session started, I was lying in a corner near a radiator, and I really had no idea what was gonna happen. Like, I didn't know how the session was gonna be. That's what I mean. But once the session started, there was a lot of movements, chanting Elohim, 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 chanting sounds, E, E, like these kind of things. Some movements at some point, my body stood up and there was just dancing, just standing, like going through certain motions with the hands, with the body, and it's just a beautiful flow of like just an energetic flow that's being expressed. Like wow, because when the movement is expressed, or when it's there, there's a certain kind of like, it's such an amazing feeling to feel so deeply alive, and deeply like wow, this is so amazing. It was really gorgeous, really beautiful. Stood up and was watching people, and people were lying, and it was also interesting for me to see, because there were like 15 plus people, just seeing how some people were like shaking, some people were like curled up, some people were just lying down, not moving, some people were moving a little bit. So it was interesting to just notice that, to see that. And being my 51st session, it's so precious. Yeah, my God. There was this one moment where I stood up and so there was this beautiful moment. It was truly so precious. It's like so at one point I noticed that like there was like words coming through, like saying certain words. I don't know if it was light language, but like it was just coming through, and there was like this awareness that there was like, okay, not too loud, not so that everybody can hear, but there was like almost like an impulse to really do it really loud. So it was really funny how then I noticed that in myself, that like not allowing myself to really go loud with it, and just feeling that, like that resistance. I was just laughing, like I started laughing, and then one point, I don't know if I laughed through it or I just laughed with it. It was just like, okay, and all of a a sudden, like it was being spoken aloud, like certain sounds, certain words. It was louder and louder. It was really beautiful to witness that, to notice that. There was also a moment where my eyes went open, and I was actually lying in front of a mirror, and so I was like looking, like at my face, and my eyes, and just, yeah, like just being like that. It was really interesting. And then while looking at myself, like my hands were moving, and there was like these, the language was, I don't know if it was light language, but the words kept coming, the sounds kept coming. So it kept flowing. Really beautiful. Like at a certain point you just stand there with a pose and you just feel amazing. Feel so in the flow, feel so alive, so deeply, like And then there's a gorgeous moment where sitting on my knees, and I was like, God, who am I? Who am I? Who am I really? Who am I? Like something like that. And then I repeated that a couple of times, and then like there was this moment that all of a sudden I just like felt like there was like this, like there was an awareness, like you are the light of pure consciousness. And it was like an inner feeling, or like it was an awareness of a feeling of like something being like witnessed, something being like what do you call it? You know, when something is shown, it's like a revelation. It's like wow, and I was just like there was this feeling like wow, and actually the words were being said out like wow, like it kept coming. It was so deep, so gorgeous, so like holy moly. That moment, that experience, it was it's so it's so full and empty, but it's so beautiful. It's so full with beauty. There was a moment after that. I was lying, and there was a question. It's like, dear God, what is my true identity? Like, I kept repeating that, and then, like, all of a sudden there was like this moment where it was like an awareness, like almost like sensing the entirety of the universe, but also the nothingness, the everything in the nothingness and the everything. It was something like that. Like there was a sense, everything, but also the nothingness, the space, the spaciousness, the emptiness of it all, the nothingness of it all, but the everything. So the everything is in the nothingness. It was, I don't know how to describe it fully, but it was so gorgeous. Like, after that, there was like some energy going to the head. There were moments where there was just like, energy. And there was this one moment. It was before that, where I was just standing, and it was like, I really felt like my body had wings or something. And I really felt like so like, like that was really beautiful. And like these experiences, words cannot do them justice, because these experiences are so energetically full and rich, and really, it's one thing to experience something, to experience the warmth in your hands, to experience the sensation in your hands, and to talk about it, that flavor of it, that texture of it, that taste of it, the depth of the experience. Because words can, they can conjure up associations or imagination. You can try to sense it, but when you really experience it, it's wow. After that, there was again, I guess my mind wanted to go back to that moment that was done before. So again, my mind was like, dear God, who am I? Dear God, who am I? Trying to get back to that revelation. So after it kept asking, after the question kept, it was again like, you are the light of pure consciousness. And it was like this again, like, wow. Just feeling, experiencing that, like that revelatory moment, that it's it's so lovely. And then while feeling that, while experiencing that, while being aware of that, I got up and I was looking at myself in the mirror. So when you look at yourself in the mirror, or at anybody else, there's always a context. Me, her, me, him. And there's also like these judgments, right? And then there's a relating that's occurring. Relating, what do I think? What do I feel? How do I feel about that? How do I feel about this? All these things. But here, what was really gorgeous is that because there was this experience of this revelatory state, of this wow, just feeling that. It was so full of beauty that when I was looking at myself in the eyes, there was just this real looking, this real seeing, with so much like that was so precious, that moment, because it made me remember afterwards, like I've done these exercises when you're standing in the mirror and you tell yourself, I love you, I love you, I love you. You say that. But here, it was this pure appreciation, pure, like, this because there was this beautiful feeling that was like, wow. It was just, wow. So it was like relating to this face, to these eyes, to this body, and like just looking at Igor, like, wow. And then these words came, you're okay, you're okay, you're always doing your best. And it was so sincere and so well meant. Like that's a truly magical experience. It's funny because I remember in my own life, I've been loving to others. I've been, wanting to love others deeply, to share love, to experience love, to be in love with, and to be in that connection, love connection. And then it's like somewhere you maybe also want to do that or receive that back. And what's funny is I've never, I guess up until now, really had that I was like, that it just like this, that it was just like this to myself. That was happening to myself like this. So intense, so deep, so like, wow, so full. I was like, whoa, just this pure appreciation, this pure beauty, and just like, wow, you're okay. You're okay. Looking in the eyes, looking in the face, just looking and just feeling, really, really deep experience, really lovely. Sometimes during and after that, there were like those sounds that came out like ee ah, like sometimes clapping, sometimes stamping on the ground. Um, yeah, yeah, it was really fun. Also, like beautiful music. Like sometimes opening the eyes, looking in the room, seeing everybody. Some people, or you hear people, like some people cry, some people. It just like the whole room, the whole ambience of everything. So gorgeous. Like honestly, these sessions, they really are. Hmm, it's like this safe container where people in our society can just come and really be immersed in the field of love. It's, yeah, wow. Um, yeah, some people were really crying. So sweet, so gentle. And sometimes when I was with my eyes open, it's not that I'm with my eyes open that I'm out of the flow. I'm still in the flow. It's just my eyes are open and I see the facilitator. I laugh at her, and then like close my eyes again. Um, yeah, really beautiful. And then once the session was done, there was also like an awareness, an awareness of like you're already a facilitator. You're already a facilitator, like that kind of thing. Um, like yeah, like almost like you're ready to also share or do this in the world, to also yeah, be there for people, or share this with people, or create this with people, or the exact words, what can I say, it was just, it's lovely, really lovely, really beautiful. It was also funny, there was a girl that I know from, I did an acting course, a writing course a year ago, and she was on an acting course, and we met and we talked, and then we had like, we didn't have contact, and then we had a cap session last December, and then now see her again here, and suddenly we saw each other, we talked a little bit, and she told me about this thing, for some time now there's been like this theme, coaching, floating around. So I have done a facilitated training for transpersonal coaching, which has to do with inner child work and these kind of things. But now she was talking about coaching. She was like, this is really good, it costs this amount, and I'm doing it here in Ghent, here in the city, and she was like really, really like saying that. And she was also talking about like, you always have like these chapters in your life. Like oh yeah, like, you go through certain, yeah, it's like, okay, this chapter, and then this chapter, and then this chapter, and then this chapter. But also overall, if you, yeah, like Ajay Shanti says it, he's like, we always go through phases in our life, so like for me, it's like a phase of being of service to people. I told her like, yeah, I don't know which facilitated training I'm gonna do, but probably can do a facilitated training soon, and start to facilitate more and more. And yeah, we were talking, exchanging. Yeah, it's really nice to connect. She told me something. Yeah. The facilitator that I went to. There was this point where she was giving advice to a girl, and the advice was about expectations. How do you let go? How do you release? And I said, to whoever feels the calling. Don't feel like I'm talking, like I'm addressing you, but to whoever who feels the calling. If you ever want to do Bufo Olivarius, 5-MeO-DMT, like there's a possibility if you do that experience that you will have like an awareness of what true surrender, full surrender really is. And the facilitator was like, oh, that's for advanced people. So I asked her, like, how many times have you done it afterwards? She's like, 3 or 4 times. I was like, okay, 3 or 4 times. Over the span of a year. I've done 2 times in 2017, 18, and now 1 time. Yeah, like, it's interesting that for some people it just, yeah. You know, the cab session today, really deep. I really did not expect that it was going to be this deep, this beautiful, this full, this kind of depth. It was really, really grateful for the session today. And who knows, maybe I'm going to check out that coaching training and then have that coaching training added to my belt, who knows. Or maybe I'm just going to do energy facilitations. Funny, I've seen her a year ago. Now a year has passed. More than a year has passed. Time goes by so fast when you're past a certain age, I guess. Just like it keeps on going, in the sense that just notice people are changing. It's like, whoa, has it been 1 year? Whoa. Where are you? What have you done? What are you doing? You know. Really grateful for the facilitators. The facilitators are really wonderful because they really, like, by creating this space, by sharing this with people, there's such a depth and such a wonderful quality that you can become aware of, you can experience. Of course, there's like, you can cry certain emotions or release certain emotions, or a lot of things can happen. You can check it up online, but yeah. What a wonderful session. What a wonderful session. It's funny. I don't think I've ever like had it like this, where during my session I was like really standing up and looking in the mirror, and there was language coming out, and then from that, wow, just looking and being with myself, with me. So it's so gorgeous. Yeah. You know, loneliness and being alone. Do you learn to be alone? Or do you let go of your loneliness? Because when you're used to having people around you, and you really need them or want them, and then they leave you or they're not there anymore, that loneliness can be experienced as really painful, or that something's wrong, that it shouldn't be that way. But sometimes you can also have this situation where you're really, even amongst people, you really feel you're really on your own path. And sure, people can support you. People can give you advice. They can cheer you up. They can talk with you. They can, yeah, you can share with them. But you still have to walk your path alone. You still have to feel your feelings alone. You still have to make the choices alone. You still have to live your life alone. And some choices lead to completely letting go of what was and going into what life wants through you now. So this aloneness, being in this aloneness, when there's this quality inside of you, when there's this awareness of this quality of like pure stillness, gratitude, love, life, kindness. It's almost been a full year since I've done camp, and it's been one year. It's been a wow, what a year, what a year. It really, really was, yeah. Like the way, the clarity that came from all these camp sessions, putting into perspective what was, what is, what wants to be lived out now, what my, yeah. It's funny, you know, you were a certain person, and when you try to be a new person, you're still that same old person trying to be a new person, or are you a new person who was this old person? Being in your heart space is really like a gift, because when you're in your heart space, there's not an intuition but a knowing of that life is just being expressed like this. Thank you so much, everybody. This was session 51, and it was really